Hey guys, I'm with Sonny Swann of Climatic Heating and Cooling. His office is in Middleburg and he serves all of Loudoun County, Fairfax.
All the way into Great Falls, all the way out to Winchester, all the way down to Warrenton.
So family-owned business, you guys have 36 employees, and I thought I'd have him talk to you guys a little bit about AC units and what people should know about as homeowners.
So one of the first questions we get is about maintenance. And if maintenance is required, should they do it? Will it prolong the life of their unit? Mm-hmm. The honest answer to that is probably not. There are a lot of companies out there that will come out and do a very inexpensive maintenance, and they advertise $49, $59, and then they pull out of your driveway and they've charged you $500, $600. Modern units have safeties built in. They are not unsafe. Maintenance is not required to keep them safe. If you don't do an oil change on your car, bad things are going to happen. If you don't have a maintenance on your AC, I can't guarantee that bad things are going to happen. It's just things might break anyway. Mm-hmm. So the companies that really tout those inexpensive maintenances, I feel like they're doing that for the chance to knock on your door and run the cost up.
And upsell you.
Without a doubt. It's very rarely that I see one of those competitors knock on a door where they don't have 3 or 4 suggestions on what to do. Mm-hmm. I pay my guys really well. They're really qualified guys. Mm-hmm. If I wanted to push them every day and look at every ticket and have them drive up the ticket, would that be a profit center? Yes. Would that be good for my customers? No. So we don't do that.
Mm-hmm. So it's right now, I'm talking to you in summertime, toward the end of summer. It's been super hot. Do you have kind of a rule of thumb with respect to how long should homeowners expect their AC units to last? How many years? And then second part of that question is, do you have a brand of favorite that you recommend when people do need to replace their units?
So it depends on the unit. So a quality brand put in by a quality installer. And I say quality installer because I feel like that might be a little bit more important. Mm-hmm. I'd expect 15 years out of that install. Okay. But it's like a car. If you have a 15-year-old car, it might break down along the way. Mm-hmm. You might have a couple of repairs. The builder grade brands that are put in by the big track builders in the area, mm-hmm. and I say that not the custom builders, because most of them will hire people like us or better builders and demand better brands. Mm-hmm. And they even watch the foreman that's on the job, so they get really high quality. Mm-hmm. There's some really good custom builders out there. The track builders are going to kind of accept what they want. It's all about bottom dollar. Mm-hmm. We start replacing those air conditioners at 6 years old. Okay. Some of them make it to 16. Okay. A lot of them don't. Okay. There are parts of, we do a lot of work in the Broadlands. There's parts of the Broadlands where by 10 years old, every single air conditioner on the street had been replaced. So when we come to brand, we sell Carrier, Trane, and Lennox. Okay. Honda, Ford, Toyota. Mm-hmm. Do I care? Not at all. Mm-hmm. They all fit differently. So for instance, some of the Trane indoor units are too large to fit through a hole into the attic. Okay. So if I was just a Trane dealer, I'd have to charge you more because I have to cut it in half. Mm-hmm. And reassemble it in the attic. Okay. Or Carrier, one guy can lift it up through the hole. Okay. So why wouldn't I say Carrier is a better fit? Mm-hmm. With Lennox, they fit with some of the Goodman furnaces that we see in a lot of Ashburn, so you don't have to do the furnace at the same time. Mm-hmm. If I just sold Carrier, you might have to do the furnace at the same time. So mm-hmm. we have 3 brands, so we can kind of mix and match. Mm-hmm. When I knock on a door, I never know what I'm going to recommend. Right. Okay. All of us are looking for the solution, mm-hmm. not the good, better, best. Right. Like any time that you're with any contractor and they give you, here's the good, better, best, greatest, or excellent, and they start going through a sales pitch, I think every homeowner should throw on their brakes mm-hmm. and not listen. Right. Like, do your research on the contractor. Right. That's so much more important than the brand. Yeah. We're lucky we don't have to talk about Climatic a lot because normally we're a referral, right. And people see this type of stuff. Yeah, a lot of awards. A lot of awards, and I don't have to brag about Climatic. I can educate and just say what's best for your family. Yeah. Because my clients get so twisted around after they've had 3 or 4 sales calls and guys are just on commission, which none of my guys are, and they just don't know what to pick. Right. It's confusing to me sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes customers call me and they're like, somebody recommended this. I'm like, right. Really?
Yeah.
And I just don't understand why.
Yeah. Okay, a couple more questions. First is a lot of people out there get gifts from realtors at closing. I like to give gifts, and one of the more popular gifts I've noticed is a Nest thermostat. So people can program their temperature, make it feel great. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Oh
as a
boy,
gift?
what
Should
a
I give
loaded
that
question.
away?
So a Nest thermostat is possibly the prettiest thermostat to put on your wall. They are clean, they are easy to use. I never thought a thermostat that literally had one button and one dial could be so easy to use. So they did great in the design aspect. In reality, 3 years ago, Climatic, running 14 technicians, let's call it 100 service calls per week. During the whole year, we had 2 thermostat service calls.
Okay.
So last year, we ran 183 thermostat service calls.
Okay.
179 were Nest thermostats.
Okay.
So we haven't quite figured out what it is. We don't know if it's because they're urging homeowners to put them in, or it's just the thermostat, but they can be really pesky. We've had a few that will work fine while we're there, and then we leave and they don't work fine. And then we come back and they work fine. So we're 5 or 6 service calls in before we figure it out, and we finally put a cheap $23 thermostat on the wall, and nothing ever stops working again. Honeywell is the standard, they don't break. The Honeywell Prestige, they have color touchscreens, they have lyrics, they have things that are clean. I always recommend having a professional put them in, because there's a lot of things that are variable between the wiring and things that can go wrong. I was on Facebook with a client at 5:37 this morning because he had tried to put a thermostat in. He'd been up all night. He'd already ordered a second thermostat, and he just had one wire that wasn't connected in the right spot. So he texted me as I was about to get my shower this morning, and I walked him through which wire to pick over Facebook, and he fixed it, so we didn't need a service call. But that's what happens. Luckily, I was there to help him. It wasn't a $300 service call, but I would say steer clear of Nest. Honeywell is my favorite.
Okay, next question is, a lot of people have various hobbies, things they like, including wine tasting or maybe music. And so they want to create a special room in their house, perhaps to keep wine cool, or maybe guitars or whatever. Do you guys get called out to do installations for wine rooms or music rooms? And do you have any thoughts on that?
In the past year, we've done wine rooms, guitar rooms, gun rooms. That's my favorite. We've done hidden rooms. We've done safe rooms. They all have different levels of what you need to do.
Okay.
Let's start. Wine rooms is the easiest thing to compare. We can do something pretty inexpensive for a standard wine room. So that would be, I want to have my friends over. I want it to be air conditioned. I want to keep the temperature lower than the rest of the house, but I don't need to pay a ridiculous amount of money to keep it at 46 degrees or 48 degrees. We can put in a ductless Mitsubishi that can do that very inexpensively compared to the other options. If you are the person that is going to stock bottles of 56 Lafite and you want it perfect at 48 degrees, then that is a different project. That is more expensive. It has to be properly engineered. You can't go to any heating and cooling company to do it, because I've seen it done wrong a lot of times. But I like to meet with homeowners and kind of feel out where they're at. And we can make things that are really pretty. We can make things that are a little bit industrial. Sometimes they're industrial is fine.
Right.
We did a gun room in Leesburg, and it had to be dehumidified, cooled, but who cares what it looks like? It's a gun room.
Right.
There's guns on the wall. That was a very different project. That was actually way less expensive than a wine room, because we didn't need to be pretty.
Yeah.
And that's just, you need to have somebody that coaches you on what to do.
Okay. Final is, you guys have been in Middleburg for a long time. Great family-owned company. You have 36 employees right now, and you are looking to fill a role. So tell everybody about your employee search.
So we're always looking for those tradespeople. We're looking for young guys that are smart, that want to learn a trade and learn a career. Those positions are always open, but we have kind of a rare opportunity right now where within our office staff, we're looking for administrators, whatever you want to call it, administrator, dispatcher, customer service rep. Starting salaries at $40,000 and up. We want people that are going to stay here forever. There's no cap on salary. The longer you're here, the more you make.
You guys also offer benefits.
We have benefits. We have healthcare, 4% 401k matching, vacation. We have 2 dogs in the office that are awesome. If
They
you're
are.
allergic, don't apply. I tried to have them up here for the video, but they were kind of bouncing around a little bit too much. It's a happy place to work, but we're looking for people that can be part of our team as we grow. I have my office manager, my dispatch manager, both have been here over 10 years. People come here and stay. It's really is a great place to work. We're just looking for the right people, and we're a little bit picky about who we hire. So if you think you have it, if you think you want part of that, if you want to drive to beautiful Middleburg every day, what better place is there to work?
Yeah, and a lot of people who do work for you live out west or further south.
Sure, I have guys from Front Royal to Winchester to Charlestown. We keep our company here in Middleburg because everybody can get here without too much traffic. You're not going into Ashburn or Chantilly, which is kind of why we stay here. I'm in Leesburg, so I commute the other way, but we kind of keep this as a central location, and we love this town, and this is where we started. It's where my wife grew up, so this is what we love.
Awesome. Well, it is a beautiful town. Thank you so much for talking with me today. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming out.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye. Have a good day.